Hello Griffin-scopers, lovely to see you. Thank you for your company and welcome to this little corner of YouTube where we like to do soul birth card character analysis, looking at the various energy fields that are running around a person's life, looking at whether those energies are butting heads, whether they're getting on, but looking at how we can decipher and we can learn in our lives as well, because we are going to go through all these energies ourselves. But these are the ones that Andrew's got. He is quite unusual in that he's got the Hierophant, he's got the Temperance, which makes him a Sagittarius. He is, like I said, unusual. He's got a set of 3 when it comes to his soul birth cards: the Sun, the Magician and the Wheel of Fortune. So guys, don't forget to like and subscribe, and if anybody would like a private reading with me, please do get in touch. The email address is in the description box and I will get you booked in. Okay, so all for alleged and entertainment purposes only, let's have a look and see what Andrew Tate's got. Okay, so I do like to use the Crow deck as well as the Rider-Waite deck for these soul birth cards. I feel like the Rider-Waite just gives us a nice little foundation, and of course my beautiful Crow deck is the icing on the cake. Right, so let's start off with the Hierophant then. So the Hierophant is like the teacher, the guru, the one that leads and guides the community through troubled times, ethical dilemmas, and it's through his teachings, whether they're spiritual or philosophical, that people follow him. And although he got banned across the board from social media and the internet, boys and men see him as a legendary hero, a bastion, if you will, of straight male masculinity, a force for good. He's the exact opposite of the woke generation also, and he preaches to his devotees that women should be obedient. He does it in a way that it's like pounding on the rule book, you know, you will do as I say. His cult leader status feels more a little bit like an energy where we've ended up with a Lord of the Flies situation. So no moral ethics within his devotees are being pushed. Their primal instincts are being, you know, forced to take over law and order where women are concerned. So women must obey. You need to take ownership of them. They're your property. That's what he would be saying verbatim. So the Hierophant, it signifies institutions, and the inverted Hierophant would be hidden information within those institutions. And Tate runs a club called the War Room. The members are men only, and they are taught various grooming methods for getting women into sex work through kind of Pavlovian conditioning. So in other words, they're rewarded when they are obedient, and when the women don't give up their autonomy, then they're punished. So one of the, you know, I question whose best interests he's got at heart here, but one of the life lessons would be humble, be balanced, be less braggadocious and ego driven. The other card that he's got, talking about balance, is the Temperance. And the Temperance is the card of artists. He's also mixed race. He's British and he's American. So a card of artists upright, and pardon the pun, but a con artist on the reverse. The angel upright looks very innocent when she's blending the doing the alchemical process, and it's more of a devilish, malevolent energy that's being blended together, those misogynistic viewpoints. The concoction is toxic, it's excessive, it can be addictive to younger minds, and the mixture isn't quite right. Like I said, it's too excessive on the one hand, going overboard on the other hand, and it's quite self-indulgent madness when you listen to him. So upright, the card represents peace, harmony. There's a calmness to how things are being blended, and Tate can come across, like I said, as pure ego, and it's at full volume. And one of the things with the Wheel of Fortune card is that he would be able to run absolute rings, circles around people with perhaps slower minds that need time to think. There is balance, though, in all things and what we say and how we come across. So the other soul birth card that he has is the Sun energy, and this is a very masculine energy. And one of the things that Tate has said, it's a very optimistic energy as well. It's probably the most optimistic card in the deck. And he has probably lent too much into the optimism, guys, in so much as he said that clinical depression does not exist. So unless you've got some concrete evidence to actually back that up, then it's nonsense. He would be saying you need to go out and do a little bit more exercise, then you won't feel depressed. But clinical depression is something that does exist. You know, doctors have said this for decades, and one of the things that Tate has done is he has been able to take control of his destiny, but taking on taking on board that, you know, life has a lot of ups and downs to it, doesn't it? And a lot of challenges, and it cannot stay positive forever. Something is bound to come along that takes the wheel on the curve. And he doesn't always take that on board. He does have the gift of the gab. He is the Magician card. And these people can be quite charming. They can be really funny and witty, and he does have that about him. But they can also have a double tongue, a snake's tongue, and they can be that salesman, snaking people. You know, I'm just thinking of his get-rich-quick pyramid schemes. His life lesson is to manifest in an authentic way, which doesn't harm others. So his year cards, he is in a death card year and a emperor year. So death is all about the change. The emperor is all about taking control in a very logical, strategic way, something he'd be able to do with that chess mind of his. And it is said, guys, that because we're in a church here with the Hierophant, the stained glass windows, the angel wings behind the crow there. Every time that you hear a church bell ring, it's a blessing as an angel gets its wings to fly. And apparently Trump, the father figure of America at the moment, helped lift that travel ban. He lifted the restrictions on Tate this year so he could get out of Romania. And some are calling it the Emperor's new clothes. And others are saying that journalists are unwilling to call out and criticise what seems to be very wrong. So Tate has been allowed to spread his wings, look like this crow, close one door, open another, fly to America, despite all those accusations that are against him. So things like sex trafficking minors, something that rhymes with ape and beginning with R. And yeah, we see that happening in this card here. He's also said to have had a detached retina, Tate, and that's why he wears sunglasses a lot. And he calls his financial currency, because like I said, the emperor is the father figure, daddy coin. Notice how the emperor sits on top of the water energy, the emotions, and this would be something he'd be seeking to stay in complete control of. So in reverse, The Emperor would be somebody who's a little bit more of a feral street dog, a mafia boss, somebody that's yeah, a narcissist, I guess. So let's just quickly take some charms, see what else we can get. I love the noise that makes when you swirl them around. Okay, what have we got? Oh, look, we've got a feral street dog, but it's in the shape of a poodle. So poodles are really stylish dogs and very intelligent. And Tate is very intelligent and he's very stylish as well, in so much as, you know, he wears a lot of designer clothes. He's got ripped muscles, this kind of thing. We've got the star energy, and the North Star is something that is said to be a guide, certainly to sailors of old. And I wonder how, you know, those young, impressionable male minds are able to, you know, keep a balance when it comes to the points of view on women he's pushing. The sun energy, we talked about the sun as being one of his soul card set. And look at that, love. Well, he does come across as a little bit in love with himself, but it's what he's teaching about love. The Hierophant is the institution of marriage, and you know, we've come a long way from women must obey men and do what they say, and you know, they did used to get beaten with sticks in the olden days, remember? Okay, so the sun, the poodle, the love heart with the arrow through it, and the star. The guide, you know, we do have to be careful with the sun energy, that it doesn't burn, it doesn't scorch. I'm thinking about Icarus, the man who flew too close to the sun and got burnt. The life lessons of balance. I'm not going into those narcissistic energies too much and manifesting in the right way. And understanding that life does have lots of ups and downs. Things change, don't they? Constantly. Okay, make of that what you will. Drop your comments in the box below and I will see you on the next. Bye for now.